Do you fancy being part of this Industrial Strategy Council then?
Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? It would be quite difficult, though, because Sir Keir's asking for growth, but at the same time, I think holding back growth by insisting on net zero. I really don't think that we as a nation, or any nation, frankly, can have proper growth at this stage while still aiming for net zero in 2030. I simply don't think it can be done. And I think any of the leaders now that really want to pull us out of the morass that we and many other Western countries are in have to put way back these plans for net zero by, I would say, another 20 years, frankly.
I mean, the other issue being he touched on the productivity gap, with many equivalent cities in Europe. And is that part of the problem that, if we have yet more red tape and bureaucracy on these issues, it's going to be difficult for business to really flourish?
Yes, certainly. Absolutely. Red tape is very much something that stops business. Bureaucracy, horrendous. I mean, part of the idea, apparently, of Brexit was to be able to cut much of this. And I think a lot of people, and particularly Brexiteers, have said, we in theory came out a few years ago, and yet nothing much has been done about bureaucracy and red tape. So we are pretty late, I think, to the party when it comes to cutting these. I'd like to see this happen now, ideally. But I'm also interested in what he said about growth from a Labour Party point of view, because really what he's saying, in a sense, is kind of what Liz Truss is saying. And generally, the way to get this sort of growth, certainly from a Tory party point of view, is to cut taxes. So I'd be interested to know if Keir is actually planning on cutting taxes, because that would be very much not a Labour plan. But then we've seen a Tory party doing exactly the opposite to what a Tory party would normally do in the last few years, essentially creating a magic money tree where they've been giving money around like it's sweets,